Yes, that is Josiah Atkins right there, the founder himself of Prospect Bacon. If you want to hear the conversation, be back in 60 seconds. Let's go.
We are live. Bruce Buffer here, and we're being broadcast around the world. Thanks everyone for joining us on the Solar Objections live action role play. I have the pleasure to introduce a big UFC fan, fellow poker player, Solar Pro, and my friend, Solar Joe.
We are back, everybody. What's going on? Let's go. We are back on the Solar Objections live stream. We are at it again, another week, and we're bringing another superstar on the show. Today we have Josiah Atkins. Everybody should know him on social media, probably one of the funniest people on Facebook, but also a solar lead generating expert. Also the founder and CEO of Prospect Bacon. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But I'm really excited to have Josiah on here. Everybody, welcome Josiah Atkins. Thanks for being on here, man.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. If you guys notice, he's short-winded. So let's get on here. Let's get the audience asking questions.
Get on here. Get asking questions. Well, Joe, I was actually I wanted everybody to know I'm a little sad today.
What happened?
Well, I have this friend, and he runs he's a solar.
One of the solar guys?
He runs a solar company. Yeah. And he likes to call me when he signs up with marketing companies. And so last night I was, sitting home with the family eating dinner, and he called me, and he was signing up with another marketing company. And it's just sad because I don't get no respect, So.
You don't sign up every single person you talk to? What are you talking about?
No, man. No, it's hard. Well, cool, man. Well, I'm really excited to be on here to talk. I know a few clients have challenged me with being a little verbal out in the community, and I tend to put my head down and do my work and not cause too much of a scene unless I'm feeling rowdy, trolling some comments somewhere or something.
I'll challenge you, man. I'm challenging you to be verbal today. I want you to be obscene, whatever you got to do, bro. Everybody watching, engage. Let's get him on there. Get in the comments. Ask questions. Say what's up to him. Maybe even handle an objection. I don't know. We'll throw it in there and see what we can get. But this is going to be random questions with Josiah Atkins. So any questions you want, throw it in there. But if you guys want your name shown on the bottom of the post, click on the StreamYards link and give us permission to show your name, or it's just going to say Facebook user. So get in the comments. I'm going to ask some random questions and we can get into it. Josiah Atkins, let's go. You ready, Josiah?
Yeah, man. That's right. Let's ready.
Let's ready. All right, bro. I'm going to start asking you random questions. You take your time, answer what you want. But obviously, what everybody knows you for, why you're even on here, is because you're friends with Alan Belcher. Like, how a UFC fighter, Alan Belcher? How does that even happen, man? How are you friends with that guy?
Dude, so Alan and I met and actually a mastermind with Ryan Stewman. We were sitting, like, I'm not even a UFC fan or anything, man. Like, it's
What?
such
You're
a
not even a UFC fan? Oh,
I had
man.
no clue who he was until we were literally sitting there at the table, and he was talking about scaling his gems, and we just started talking about marketing and offers and stuff, and we were just strategizing a little bit on an offer he was trying to launch at Ryan's mastermind, and we got to talking. And we're not super close or anything, but like, Alan's a really, really good dude, and he crushed that fight. That one fight, at least. I haven't watched. I don't know if he's fought since that one. What was it? 2 months back.
Yeah, he
But
killed it. Bro, Alan Belcher is a beast. Like, one of my favorite fights was when he beat Paul Harris, because that guy was like just an annoying fighter who just like hurt everybody, didn't care. And then when he beat him, that was like one of the best moments in the UFC history, probably, bro.
yeah, he told this really funny story of them. They staged a fake fight around Joe Rogan after a fight one time, him and a bunch of other fighters, and Joe didn't buy it. Like, they had people like laying on the floor, like they were getting the crap beat out of him. And I guess Joe's just a ninja. Like, he knows.
He's seen a few fights. He knows what a real fight looks like, probably.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Man. So
it's like the WWE, like a fight. Like, you can tell that's not a real fight, right?
Right. Yeah. No, it's a little different. When you see a guy's leg bent in half, there's not many ways to fake that kind of stunt. But yeah, Alan's a really good guy. That's really funny you asked me that.
Well, the real reason why I got you on the live stream is just, can you get Alan Belcher on the live stream? That's all I really wanted.
I will. I'll have his people reach out to somebody else's people who might reach out to Alan's people, and we'll see. Dude, I mean, honestly, Alan probably would come on. He's a beast, and most people don't know. He's done a lot of stuff, like, business wise, as far as building out gyms. Like, he's ran a few different marketing offers and stuff like that.
All right. Let's enough with Alan Belcher. Let's talk about Josiah Atkins and Prospect Bacon. But we got comments coming in, so let's hit on them first, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we don't have a lot of names. People don't want to press on the link and just get their name shown. So we see Facebook user, but the first Facebook user saying, "You better drop that knowledge, JD."
Yeah. Better drop the knowledge.
Is that pressure? Is that too much pressure?
No, I think it's good. It's good. I perform well under pressure.
Motivation. All right. Facebook user, is tofu bacon actually bacon?
Is there tofu bacon?
Never heard of it.
I know turkey bacon.
And that's actually one of my questions we're going to get into later. So let's hold off on that. I saw
that. What about tofurkey bacon? Is that a thing?
I think that is a thing. I don't think anybody actually eats it, though.
No, probably not.
All right. Real question here from Mr. Josiah Atkins. Why are you so attractive? Is it all the bacon?
Thanks, Mom.
See, you got some real questions in here from real people here, not your mom.
Yeah. It's not my mom. Okay, that's good.
Actually, you're right. Actually, might be.
Could be my mom. Just says Facebook user. Yeah. I don't actually eat. I did do, when I was young, I did this diet called the Whole30. I don't know if you've heard of it, but my wife and I basically ate. We ruined the whole diet. Like, basically, you're supposed to eat whole foods, and like a really easy meal without carbs is bacon and eggs. So we pretty much ate bacon and eggs for 30 days straight, and with some avocado mixed in, because we'd go like, "Hey, do you want a food prep?" No, let's just make bacon and eggs.
I love that diet was really popular for us, all meat diet. Like, you can only eat meat, and diet really work.
Yeah. So it worked for us. I mean, cutting out. It's a really good. I don't know if those diets are a great way to live, but it is really good to be conscious of You know, it's like anything. Like if you cut out TV for a month or like some other bad habit, like you just come more conscious of like what doing those activities make you feel. So I appreciated that diet for that, but I like carbs. It would be hard to live a life without carbs, I think.
I love carbs. I don't even try. I'm eating. You guys don't want the carbs? Give me the carbs here. That's cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Got some more people want to say hello. Facebook user again. Guys, come on. Click on the link. Get your name shown. But anyway, these guys are great. I'm talking about Prospect Bacon here. Their sales rep helped me through a tough breakup. I like that.
So that was actually a true story. In our CRM last year, we found one of our a sales rep that worked with us actually put in notes that they helped somebody try to get their girlfriend back, and our whole team died laughing when we saw that in our CRM. So I bet that's somebody that works at Prospect Bacon that dropped that story, because I haven't told that much. But just imagine logging into your CRM and seeing one of your sales reps helping a client through.
That's what you're seeing, and you're like,
through
wow,
a breakup. Yeah. No, it was great.
All right, let's keep it going here. Personal marketing is better. You have permission. Not sure what they're talking about. Do you know?
Personal marketing.
There's a little kiss to you too. So see, Facebook user.
I know. Is that my mom?
That might be. So we got another Facebook user. Hey, Josiah Atkins. What up, Joe Musakil? Apex. So Apex.
That's somebody in that mastermind. Ryan, Alan Belcher's in with.
Oh, nice. Maybe it's him himself.
Man.
All right.
So, Alan.
Alan,
get on here.
All right. So we actually have a real person on here now. Tay Lynn Dunn. Your girl over here in Arkansas has been trying to get some bacon, mister.
Oh, wow. Well, prospectbacon.com. If she's talked to one of our team, we need to fix that. It's easy to do.
Fix that because she's not done yet. She's like, leads.
Yeah. We can do that. Arkansas is a great market too. I know that's one of the later questions, but
yeah, we'll get into that. Okay, another name, Isaiah Null wants to know, if you use Prospect Bacon, can I get some bacon sent to my home? I'm sure a lot of people ask this question.
So people have asked this, so I can neither confirm nor deny hiring Prospect Bacon is a legitimate way to use a business expense to just get crates of bacon shipped to your house. So
why wouldn't it? That'll be easy for me to explain to my CPA. Like,
it's a tax write-off. It's marketing. I'm not buying $3,000 of bacon a month. That would be ridiculous.
But then you just give it out, and that'll be your marketing tool. Boom! It all wraps it together.
It is. We are looking at some bacon themed gifts for clients for Christmas, which I'm really, really excited
about. At least the smell of bacon, right? At least get something.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right. See, we get ideas brainstorming here too. Keep them coming, guys. More comments, more questions. Random questions. I know you guys been wanting to ask Josiah Atkins questions. I know I've been wanting to. So this is your opportunity. Jump in there. And he's probably going to come up with an answer or be a funny answer or something. It'll be an answer no matter what. All right. We got more people saying, what up, guys? So somebody says, I'm looking good. Oh, and maybe they're talking about you. My bad.
We should take it as like a dual compliment.
We're both looking good. All
if
right.
You're walking down the street, somebody says nice hair. You're not going to like not take that.
I'll be like, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Mr. Kyle Thumb wants to jump in here. Can't believe Josiah actually got taken to the groomers for this interview.
Yeah. I want to give a big shout out to mobiledogwashing.com. They did a great job. So
they used one of those vacuum things. They just.
Yeah, it was great. It was one of the shagging wagons from Dumb and Dumber. Just rolled up, and
that should be a real thing. Honestly, like I don't know why that's not.
Yeah,
bro, we got actually a real question in here. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Eddie Fernandez always dropping great questions, and he has another one for you, Mr. Atkins. What types of marketing campaigns do you like working on most? I know this is actually a real question. You want to answer, or do you want to skip it?
No, we can go. So we do. I mean, the stuff that I personally like working on the most now is like our projects are what gets me going is like when we're looking at a new way to do something. Like we had a client a few months back and they were wanting to spend a lot of marketing dollars in one area. And we really had to stretch our brain around some of like the normal ways we normally spend in those markets. So those are always really fun. And then honestly, like any marketing campaign with companies that are like dialed in, have their processes ready to go, and are really hungry. Those are really fun campaigns and clients to work with.
Got it. All right, we got a bunch of more comments. We want to get in here.
We're just going.
We're just going, man. We got
James Ramos, man.
Yeah, Solar U in the house. He said, "What's up,
Dude,
fellas?"
when I was a baby solar rep, I used to watch James' videos on YouTube.
Me too. Pioneer, if there is one, right?
Yeah. No.
All right, we got another question for you. Ready?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Where do you live? So I was born and raised in Greensboro, North Carolina area. However, my wife of 8 years this October finally talked me into moving to Missouri to be closer to her family. So about a month and a half ago, I moved to Springfield, Missouri. And we have more help with we have 3 younger kids, a few with a few medical issues. So it's been really nice being able to be around, just family that can help and be present and stuff like that.
And you're from Springfield. You could be the same time as the Simpsons. That's always good to.
Dude, yeah. They never say which Springfield it's from. So
you're from Springfield.
I'm from Springfield. Yeah.
Well, to answer the earlier question, it was both of us. So.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure we get that in there.
That makes sense. Yeah. Great.
All right. Another real question coming up from Mr. Dana McManus. He wants to know, what's your major platform for lead generation? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc.
Yeah. So we're most of our Instagram stuff is tacked on with Facebook. We are experimenting some more with some native Instagram marketing. I got inspired 4 or 5 months ago. My wife was showing me something on her Instagram phone, and I was just really amazed by the types of ads I was seeing on her phone. Like, it really looked like it belonged, stuff that belonged on a woman's Instagram account. And we kind of got this idea of doing things more tailored to Instagram as a platform versus just sharing Facebook ads over to the Instagram platform. But as a business, we're running, I think, like 139 ad campaigns right now. And I think it's something like 55% Facebook, 45% YouTube, something like that. So we're split pretty evenly as a marketing company.
Are you even touching TikTok yet? Is that even
TikTok came on my radar about 3 months ago when I finally got bored enough to log on to TikTok. And I've been talking to a few other agencies. The problem with TikTok is it's hard to scale and it's a little trickier marketing locally. Somebody could come on here and school my lunch on TikTok ads. I don't know enough about it, but we are probably not this quarter. We're launching a big video production campaign internally to shoot more high quality sketches and ads. But so probably Q1 of next year, we're going to look at adding TikTok and maybe a few other sources, like a good example, like, the ads you see, spammy clickbait ads you see at the bottom of news articles and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Those can be a decent source for high intent, lower cost leads. However, the tricky thing with them is scaling, right? So they're not things that scale infinitely. So it's us figuring out a way how to offer them at a cost that, makes sense to the public without saying, it's $5,000 a month for something that's going to get you 20 leads.
You have a different audience on TikTok,
Yep.
and you need to change everything to cover that, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I'm not really great at twerking yet, so I've got some stuff to work on.
I mean, that should be the first thing you do before you get on TikTok. Learn how to twerk. Work the mirror, 100%. Work the mirror.
Yep. Up and down.
Yo, so we got more questions here. Facebook user didn't want to show his name or her name. I talked a while back, man. How do you manage regions? Do you keep a limit on companies in areas, or grammar is not the specialty, but good question.
No, it's fine. It makes sense. So we do not really cap areas right now. And that's something I really struggled with when we were starting, because, it's something like, it's this idea of, hey, if you take on too many clients in an area, it's going to get the area saturated, the market saturated. And, we had to make a decision, like, as we kept getting referrals in areas, but kind of where we came as a stance on was, those people are going to spend money, whether it's with Prospect Bacon, whether it's with Modernize or Home Advisor or any of the other agencies out there. So, if we're the best company to get people leads and results and help them, feed their families, there's no shortage of homeowners out there to get solar. So we have like a soft cap. Like, there's been a few markets where we've been like, okay, this is getting a little ridiculous. We're not really going to take any more clients here. And I mean, there are definitely markets where we're like, hey, leads are going to be $80, $90 a lead. Like, is that going to work for you? Like, do you have the systems to turn, like, can you convert those leads at 20 to 30%? Because if you're converting leads, you're looking at $450 an appointment. Metrics can get real wonky on that, right? Especially like on a small scale, you have 2 no-shows and then suddenly you did an ROI that month, which isn't really a situation we want to put people in.
That makes sense. You got to think of everything at that position, right?
Yep.
So we got more questions I want to get through, so not to move along too fast. But another question: what do you think makes the difference in Prospect Bacon's growth and longevity? So many solar agents have failed.
Wow,
that's a good question.
That is a good question. So I think an interesting. I recently hired a financial planner this year, which has been something really interesting. Like, it's almost like having a financial coach in some ways. And he was trying to help us, like, me get some kind of valuation number to the business. And he was like, well, hey, I looked up some similar marketing companies to you. And he started rattling off all these other solar agencies' name. And he's like, you're the only freaking solar marketing company in the world who doesn't have the name solar in your name. Don't you know that's really bad for your SEO? And, I think we just approach things a little differently. Like, where I came from, my background prior to solar, I sold door-to-door direct TV and cable before that for, some years. I got into heat and air conditioning kind of on the corporate side. And, when I started a marketing company, I came to a place of like, hey, I was a rep. I paid $5,000 and got 3 leads from a marketing company, who I found out later wasn't even a marketing company. They're a sales company that hired another marketing company to do their marketing from them. And that's why I could never get any answers. So we really built Prospect Bacon, and I use the collective we a lot, because, it's not me at this point. It's my team. I have people working with us that are better than I ever was at running ads. But we've really built Prospect Bacon from like a service standpoint, like how can we deliver a great customer service to every client? We always try to do right by people, even when it doesn't work out. And I think that kind of reputation has, helped us win, helped us succeed. We're not a high margin business. We're more in lines with the traditional service company where, we're making a 30% margin and have all this payroll, all these teams serving each client in order to make the end product as good as it can be. Cause our only job as a marketing company is to make it crazy for people to ever stop spending money with us. So
yeah, like I'm so happy I spent money with you. Can't wait to spend more money with you next month, right?
yeah, man, it's not like paying your taxes. You should be happy to pay your marketing company.
And that's your goal, is your position. Your goal is for them to be so excited with your service that they want to keep paying, right? Like that's really, that's a good place to be for a client. All right, we got some serious comments in here we want to jump into here. Joe Musakil and Josiah Atkins, two of the biggest D-bags in the game. I wouldn't hire you fools to walk my dog. Sincerely, both of your prospective moms.
Thanks, come on, Mom.
She's embarrassing me again.
She knows she's speaking my love language right now. She really cares about me.
All right, we're moving along here. I think this is a question, but with no question mark. Ways that we can get better quality leads on Facebook, kind of open-ended.
Yeah, so Facebook is really interesting to us. We've been playing around with ways to do that. For us, it's a big future, I think, for us. And I don't want to spoil too much with what we're planning. But
spoil.
Video, I think, is a great way to educate and inform your audience on what we're doing right now, right? But because it's hard, right? Because educational, like we can't just roll a Ken Burns documentary style ad about solar and put everybody to sleep. But there is a lot of know, like, and trust that's built with video, with seeing your face. That's why, even like all of our Prospect Bacon ads we've ran ever, like, I'm in them. That's what performs best. And I think as we start to lean into video, we're learning a few things. Like, one, that while lead cost is everything, it's not actually everything. Lead quality is everything. I think anybody who's spent, more than a few months in solar or has ever worked with a setter, like, you can go to an appointment with a lead that's been set with a bad expectation. Like, if you've ever had a lead set by a crappy knocker, like, you get there, they're like, oh, this isn't free. I thought you were with the power company. And like, you have to like do all these matrix moves to dodge the objections, right? I mean, we're here in the solar objections group. Like, what do you do when you go to a lead that's been set by a crappy setter? Well, you have to start over at zero. And I think a lot of marketing companies, we've kind of just improved on the same things over and over again, and nobody's really reinvented the wheel. Like, we're doing these very like direct response style ads that gets people to impulsively click and fill things out. So getting better quality leads on Facebook probably looks like you sharing testimonials from your clients with you in it. It probably looks like you posting pictures of your installs on your personal profiles. How we get better quality leads at scale, like with a marketing agency, that's stuff we're looking into, like more user generated content from our clients, better video production, more like edutainment style ads where you're learning and laughing at the same time. So that's
what I like about you, is your humor. And is that a big part of your agency ads too? Is humor, or is it just more kind of education?
Dude, I'm a freaking weirdo in our ads. Like, I do the goofiest stuff.
I believe it, bro.
It works.
So speaking of that, James Ramos, I think you might answer this already, but maybe you want to hit on it again. Which social media platform generates the best results for your company?
That's a really interesting question. For us in general, we like, if you're asking for a marketing company, like we run 95% of our budget right now on Facebook. We're playing around with YouTube and a few other lead generation avenues, but we're mainly running on Facebook. That's where the majority of people in solar are, probably on Facebook and YouTube. Not too many solar professionals on LinkedIn right now. But if you're asking for like what works for clients, like we see an equal success rate between YouTube and Facebook, which is really weird. You know, people were going around saying Facebook was dying more than a year ago. And what happened was a bunch of people left the platform, and it made it easier, right? Because there's less people advertising on Facebook. So while things change, iOS 14, you know, changed a few things for marketers, but we sidestepped and found a way around, you know, tracking those things. I don't see, you really need both, right? Because if you're going to scale to a place where you're spending a substantial amount of money, putting on one platform is probably not your best idea. And even syncing it all with one marketing company might be a bad idea.
That's honest truth, especially with the Facebook being down for what, almost half a day.
Yeah, man, it was really funny. Like we had a bonfire we just moved to recently, and our neighbors invited us over to a bonfire. That was like, yeah. And they were like, what do you do? And I was like, well, we run ads for people. And I was like, man, that must have really sucked when Facebook was down all day. It's like, yeah.
But seriously though, talk about that. Like, how much business do you lose, or something you easily overcome, or is it actually a big?
So, dude, so Facebook actually pulled a wise move, and they didn't tell anybody they were going to do this, but they basically spent everybody's marketing budget for the day in those last final hours of that Monday. And so we were everybody was, you know, kind of watching what was going on, and it spent it responsibly. Clients still got leads. However, they all just poured in at the back, you know, that back half of the day or whatever, which was kind of weird, but it worked.
All right, we're going to keep moving along. We got more comments. People want to jump in here. Keep it coming, guys. This is fun.
I didn't get any random questions.
I know. I'm trying to get more random questions, guys. So Cody Booth is like, is this live right now? Yes, Cody. We are live. Let's go.
Cody, I'm not going to take my shirt off right now. I'm sorry.
I got his question, Josiah. He wants to know more about your name. He said, I would appreciate if it went from JD to Josiah to Jedediah. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, I think he's making fun of my Amish names.
I feel like we got a lot of people trying to throw jokes in here. I think we got another one. Travis Dosser wants to know, who's your favorite piggy at Prospect Bacon?
Man, that's a hard question.
On the spot.
I'll have to say my wife. I'm just gonna cop out. She doesn't even work here. That's not a right answer.
But I don't think you should be calling your wife Piggy either, though. So I don't know if that's a good answer.
Well, yeah, I don't share too much bedroom stuff, but we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Let's go. All right. So I think we have a legitimate question here. What makes Prospect different than other lead providers? This is actually one of my questions. Why wouldn't I just do it myself?
That's a great question. So that's two questions. So to clarify that. So what makes us different than other lead providers? You know, it's really funny because it's the same question that, you know, you guys as solar professionals get asked, right? You know, what makes you different from other companies installing solar, right? You're all providing the same thing. And it's easy for me as a company to go like, oh, well, we do blah, 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 blah. But like, you know, it's just words, right? Yeah. So what I think we've done differently is we've built our entire marketing team in-house. Like our guys who run ads, they're full-time here at Prospect Bacon. Our account managers, you have their phone numbers, you have access to me, our COO, our ops person. We just have a lot of team here to help people win. And, you know, we're spending $1.4-ish million in ads a month right now. So we see, you know, what's working all across the US. If Facebook goes down for you, if it's not pulling the results, we have ability and resources to switch you over, you know, to YouTube. Maybe that works a little bit better for your business. So And I think we just we care, we want people to win. I started, marketing because, I had a bad experience and I don't want people to have that same bad experience here. As far as like, why wouldn't you just do it yourself? It could make sense for you to do it yourself. However, I think optimal path probably for somebody in solar would be, there's a point where as a business owner where you should be doing your own lead generation, where you don't have a marketing budget. Not everybody goes into solar with, $200,000 in the bank, ready to go to business, ready to hire a lead generation company, all this stuff. When you're starting, you should be door knocking. Maybe you should be running your own Facebook ads, but like kind of an ideal client journey we see is, if you get somebody who's generating their own 3 to 5 deals a month, you go hire a marketing company that can get you an additional, 2, 3, 5 deals a month for an extra 3 to 5 grand a month. And you keep doing what you were doing to get those first 3 to 5 deals a month. Well, then you're doing 7, 10 deals a month, and you can start scaling, because the best use of your time is not going to be running Facebook ads. Like, you are never going to get paid to run your own Facebook ads, right? You're never going to get paid to do your own lead generation. So like the hierarchy of being a business owner, you should be trying to work out of all pieces of your business, right? So you get paid to close deals. So at some point or scale, it behooves you to not do your own lead generation, whether it's with Prospect Bacon, whether it's with somebody else, or whether you just hire a team of door knockers that you're managing, right? And then you work out from doing that.
Yeah, another avenue you can actually profit and make some money. Why not? If it works, it's right. It's just about getting the right relationship.
Yep.
I'm going to keep on going. Same question, but I'm not going to, you don't have to answer, but I want to make sure I give him this time. Facebook users want to know, why should we use Prospect Bacon? Okay. So we got Isaiah Noel wants to know, in general, what do you find more effective, Facebook or YouTube? I think you just answer that, but.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, Facebook's more of a volume game, right? Lead cost is a little cheaper. Like on average, like a good YouTube lead for us, we consider like in an average market, you're going to be 40, 60 bucks a lead, but you're going to be pushing a higher lead to appointment, like closer to 25-ish% versus a Facebook lead. You're going to be running 15 to 20% of those leads, to an appointment. So, some companies work better with others. Some of the ways Google targets, I have a what's a good way to say this? I have a strong suspicion that your Facebook audience, the way Facebook targets and the interest targeting works, you can grab out of market customers easier on Facebook than you can on YouTube, just because of the way the different platforms work. I could geek out on that for a few minutes, but basically the way YouTube works and targets, and the way you can skip ads and videos on YouTube versus on Facebook, you're just scrolling past stuff. I think Facebook, you can get a lot more of those kind of out of market leads, those people who haven't really been thinking about solar versus, most people you talk to from YouTube, because of the way that's effective to target, you're going to be talking to a lot more in market. I've been thinking about solar. I've watched a few videos, just a little more educated client.
Great answer, bro. I was not expecting that. Good answer, man. All right. So we got here Facebook user Joe. All right, I'll take it.
Hey.
All right, next Facebook.
Hard time to you.
Somebody's talking to me here. All right, so we got a Facebook user. This is a question I had for you, but I'm glad they asked it. I think you might answer this already, but I see you use humor on your personal advertising. Do you use humor for your clients' solar marketing?
Actually, we do. We just, so we have clients like in the area I moved to, and I saw an ad this morning, and I was like, hey, this is a really great ad. And then somebody was like, hey, this is our ad. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But it was literally a picture of like this comic strip style ad, but it was like, did your electric company bill grow up too fast? And it had all these comments and engagement from homeowners, because I think a really interesting thing is homeowners all across the United States hate their power companies. Like, you don't really, even if their brother-in-law works at the power company, they like they still hate the power company.
It's so true, 100%. I asked the homeowners, so tell me everything you love about the power company. And they can't have anything to say usually.
Yep.
All right, we'll keep it going. Okay, Cody Booth wants to know, probably you're not going to answer it, but let's put you on the spot. Who's your favorite client?
Wow, Cody.
Cody's the favorite client?
Wow.
Oh, nothing. No, it's zipped. No silence on that one.
I'm just going to say wow, but I will say I haven't taken my shirt off on a Zoom call with any other clients. I will say that.
There you go. That's special. That's a special category right there. That's another story for another day, right, Josiah?
Yeah.
Just keep it at that. All right. So Facebook user wants to know, what about Reels? Isn't that the blue for ads? I guess Instagram.
So yeah, Reels are really interesting, right? They work in the same way TikTok is. They were just recently introduced on Facebook. As a marketing agency, we don't mess too much with the organic side of things, but what we have found success with is our brains are being really, there's something with a TikTok video. Like when you see a TikTok video, even if it shows up on Facebook, sorry, my dog is freaking out right now.
Take care of it.
When you see, my wife's friend came over and he really wants to go out there and my wife doesn't want him out there. So he wants to play.
I want to see him. All right.
We'll get him up.
Yeah.
He's pretty big. I could get him up here. I CrossFit. But the interesting thing is, like, our brains, when we see a TikTok video, it's kind of like, we like that. It's sharp. It's fast. It kind of moves in a different way. So we've been seeing success, shooting video content, like in more of a TikTok format. We've played around, with some ads, that annoying, like, weird TikTok voice, like
the Siri voice.
There is something to it. Like, it's Siri, but it's like if Siri had a boring aunt, like, that's the TikTok voice. But yeah, no, Reels is great.
All right, more questions for you, man. Man, people like to ask these questions. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. Which area is very hot right now, in your opinion? I'm in North Carolina, looking for the sunshine.
Well, North Carolina is a great state, and not only because it has the only correct kind of barbecue, where it actually means pulled pork and not cooking out in your backyard. That's been a weird thing here. But in North Carolina, like, a lot of the markets are good. The only thing you have to watch out with the Carolinas and some of your heavier treed states, is shade. So shade is really like a hidden ROI killer on campaigns, like specifically in North Carolina. But I can't think of a bad market in North Carolina now. Even, like, probably your two heaviest saturated places is, Raleigh and Charlotte, and lead cost, we're still, I think we had a client getting, $20-$30 leads last month in Charlotte, which is great.
Dang. That is amazing.
And it's all Duke Electric, so, pretty easy to work with.
Duke, the PG&E of the East Coast.
Yep.
All right. Jeffrey Sage said Florida is great. Come visit.
Ooh, I like Florida.
Sunshine State makes sense. All right. So we got Joe McDonald, I think, has a comment, or there's a question at the end here. What's up, Joe McDonald? I met him this past weekend. Awesome guy. Hey, great content, guys. Question: is the electric bill attached with the lead, or do we, the consultant, have to ask them for the bill?
So you currently have to ask for the bill. We have played around with funnels where the bill was attached. However, it's such a, asking a homeowner to do that is going to, it just puts you in a really weird situation where you're missing out on a lot of leads because you're not getting that step. There are ways to market around that. However, we found, everybody's process is a little different. Some people need the bill before they go to the house. Some people like to get the bill in house and get as many opportunities as possible. Some people do a 2-appointment close. So our leads don't normally come with the bill.
Yeah, no, it has to be, the more leads, the better, because if you just get ones with bills, you're missing all those ones that you want all the leads, right?
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
All right. Facebook, you just said brah.
Brah.
I like it. Keep it
brah.
Brah. All right. I don't even know what this means. Maybe you do. What's the average LTV of a client?
That is a really interesting question. Sounds like you're a marketer, but so our average client, it's really interesting. We lose probably 50% of people who start with us will leave within the first 3 to 4 months for some reasons or the other. A really interesting thing in our industry, and something I've been trying to think about, as a marketing company who's kind of stood the test of time. I look around and I don't see too many other marketers who are trying to grow up, the same time I was. They're all doing, other things right now. But the pay cycle in solar is really interesting, right? Because if you're working with a marketing company, right, like clients that are working with us, you're probably going to be spending, anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 a month is probably what we're going to tell you in an average market you need for a budget to get ROI on your campaign. And by that, like, we want you to eat and feel like you can pay us at the same time. But it's interesting, right? Because in solar, you might go 60 days without getting paid on a project. So if you're not selling a deal day one, like, you kind of get into this really interesting cash flow game where I'm paying the marketing company, 2, maybe even 3 months before I'm getting paid on the first deal that I get sold for him. So we have a lot of boomerang clients at Prospect Bacon. Like, people will pause and come back, and I don't really know how that affects our lifetime value beyond that, but it's probably better than that number if you consider people that pause for a month or 2 and then come back with us. But I hope that answered your question.
I think that question was specifically for marketers. So we got marketers questions here. And then we got some good questions here too. Can we get some bacon? That's always
Can we get some? Yeah. Do you want bacon or bacon emojis? Because one's way easier than the other.
I think you're right. He's actually for the emoji. So we'll send you over the emoji soon.
We'll send you lots of emojis.
All right. This is actually a real question, but it's in the form of a joke. But I got few customers names like This Nuts, etc. Shaking my head. How that's a big deal. I have so many issues with just fake names, fake leads.
We had a client in Arizona that fired an employee, and she went freaking nuts on pretty much every client we had in Phoenix.
What do
Arizona.
You mean?
Like, she knew what our actors and actresses looked like, and she was going nuts on every funnel. So there's no way around the fake leads, but what you got to keep in mind is, on Facebook and YouTube, you're not paying per lead. You're not paying per click. You're paying to put a certain budget out per day. And so what you have to look at is your amount of real leads versus the budget you spent that day or that week or that month. So you're always going to get trash leads. It's part of the game. But you've got to look at, a lot of people get confused and think, hey, I paid $25 for this lead. Well, no, not really. You're paying to put that ad out on that platform, and you had a budget of $100 a day, and it's how many people, we could get 100 people to fill out, and you're not paying $1 a lead. You're paying $100 for your content on that platform for the day.
You're paying for all the good leads.
Paying for eyeballs. Yeah. Paying for eyeballs on your stuff. Yeah.
100. That's my comment for that too. Okay.
Yes.
Sweet, man. Thanks. Okay. So Nick Turverde wants to know, do you have any options for vegetarians or people that don't want like pork? What do you do with those customers, man?
This is turkey bacon. Prospect turkey bacon. No, that's not even vegetarian.
You got to buy it right away now. You got to buy it.
Now we're at tofurkey bacon. No, is that where Prospect tofurkey bacon? But if it's tofurkey, wouldn't it just be toe bacon? I don't know.
Yeah, and still the vegetarians don't want turkey either, right? So then you have to so tofurkey might be the best answer, man.
Tofurkey bacon, but maybe it's just tofu bacon. I don't know.
All right. So Vincent Lenny jumping in here, using Prospect bacon recently, and it seems to be working better than expected. It's not like the greatest.
I'm glad it doesn't say Facebook user. Yeah.
The Vincent Lenny, he's putting his name out there.
It's definitely not my mom. That's great.
Okay, so we got a real question here. Do you have any nightmare client stories that you want to share?
Man, it's hard. Anytime we had a client very recently, I won't even say it was a nightmare client, but I think a really hard thing to do, and something like I've been learning as an agency owner is, like a lot of times just because people have money to pay you doesn't mean they should pay you or they know what to do once they paid you. It's like we're throwing people the keys to like a stick shift car. Like, hey, here's a bunch of internet leads, figure it out. And that's very much the old school marketing company way. Is like, hey, I got you the leads. I'm not going to pick up the phone and close them for you. Versus, what we're looking at is, should we develop time into training and resources? And, like, what if our clients had a portal they could log in and see, like, hey, here's best practices for following up with leads. Here's best practices for like running a discovery call with a client, and it's content that I can make that, we can repurpose, and our ads we can repurpose and posting on our Facebook pages and stuff like that. So a lot of people who I think have been disgruntled or unhappy clients were either, in a situation where, like things just didn't work, which, I've been in that seat. Like I was there, I've paid a marketing company and things didn't work. But I think what feels frustrating to me is we'll have people come in and do, like, cause in our world, right? Like anything under $1,000 cost per, like if you're getting a deal installed for less than $1,000, you're doing great. So a great example, like we had a client 3-4 months back that they spent total like about $5,000 between what they paid us and spent on their marketing, and they closed 4 deals. And they were really frustrated because they thought we were pulling leads out of the phone book and putting them through their funnel. And I couldn't get them to be happy about what they did close. They were just caring about, the people they didn't reach, the fake names and stuff like that. So it was frustrating to have somebody that was really upset with us for something we thought we had done. I mean, most people would agree, like, hey, that's a pretty good campaign, dude.
Yeah, that's probably a really tough to deal with. People are just like pessimistic and they look at all the negatives and not the positives. Like you're doing exactly what you promised them, but they realize like, oh, I'll put all these bad leads though.
Yeah. And honestly, like all of our clients get a high level CRM. And one thing we saw in a text was like, the text of the lead was, "What's up? Are you interested in solar panels?" ? So, golden nugget, I would not send that text out to your leads. There's a better way to open the conversation there.
Well, speaking of the CRM, James Ramos wants to know, do you offer a CRM to your clients? It seems like a lot of people that buy leads don't have a CRM follow-up sequence.
Yep. So we have a like a custom version of Go High Level we've built out for our clients. Part of that build out was how we sidestepped all the iOS 14.5 privacy issue stuff. So whether clients have their own CRM or not, they have a version of High Level we've built out for our clients. However, we have pretty basic campaigns in there. I got really big on the high level train. I guess that would have been last spring. And I didn't foresee the difficulty of offering a free software to like 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 clients a month. And we found like, oh man, like we're just supporting this high level thing. Like we're not marketers. We're modifying text campaigns all day and stuff like that. So we run a pretty basic version of high level that has a pretty decent success rate. Sometimes less is more. However, we are working on rolling out kind of like a 2.0 version of our tech campaign because we have some resources. Like we have 2 people full-time just doing tech integrations. So working in high level, working in Zapier, integrating into client CRMs. So we have more resources to deploy. So we're looking at launching a like a 2.0 version of this. And we're really looking heavy into some like old data reactivation campaigns, like clients that have been with us 6 months, having some automations to hit people up, 120, 180 days later, stuff like that.
Awesome, bro. I mean, I didn't have a chance to ask any of my questions. Everybody showed up
dude.
Oh man, this is awesome. So we have a follow-up question to the nightmare question. Great response. You can't save them all and they all can't close. Jack B.
Yeah, it's I think marketers get too much in that mindset of like, hey, well, they just can't close. They don't understand. I mean, most people, it's either a lack of time, commitment, or education. And that can apply to a lot of things, in life. So, we try our best to be understanding no matter what nightmare expletives and stuff is being thrown our way, because it's really, if we're handing people the keys to a car, we're not making sure we know how to drive, who's going to pay for that car, ultimately the car lot or the team that signed that waiver form. So
yeah, I'm trying to be understanding of your time too. I only have a few more questions. I really appreciate you.
I'm good, man. I can go a little over if you can. But.
All right, so we'll go a little bit, but I don't want to take too much of your time. We have only one more question from the comments here. Manfred, I think you might have answered this, but I don't think so. Here, Manfred Burkhardt wants to know how are lead ads on Facebook working? What kind of visuals are you using? If you want to answer that.
Yeah, so I've never been a big fan of lead ads or Facebook lead forms. I've seen other people get it to work. I mean, Joe, you probably remember it was like 2 years ago. Remember everybody was flexing the $3 Facebook leads.
Oh yeah, I got 100 leads for like $10.
It was the war of like who could get the cheapest leads, and you don't really hear about that much anymore. And what I found with lead ads is lead to appointment was dropping in half or sometimes as much as 2/3, right? So if you're going from like a 15 to 20% lead to appointment down to like a 3 to 5%, like you've got to make sure your lead cost is making up for the difference. And, do you have capacity to call 5 times the amount of leads for the same results? So, I'm not a big fan of lead ads. We play around with them sometimes. Like if we have clients that are spending a lot of money in one specific area, sometimes it's nice to have just a different version of a landing page or funnel running. You might get some leads in there, but we do see a huge drop and lead to appointment. As far as like visuals that are working, we like using like local style images. And again, like we were talking before, we're really trying to get more into like video pictures of installs, things people weren't really using 2 or 3 years ago because you could get a lower lead cost showing pictures of like congressmen or congresswomen or some of like those more gray area things. But like what we're really, as we become a bigger company and can pay more attention to data, we're really trying to pay attention to quality as far as like what's actually converting. And the less spammy and clickbaity you make something, like the better chance of getting a qualified homeowner on the other end that's not ready to cuss you out when you call them on the phone or putting in, fake names just to troll you. So
a better chance to convert to actual lead,
Yeah.
not just somebody wasting your time, right? We're not trying
Yep.
to pay to waste our time.
Right.
That's the word. I mean, like paying for work is like I'm just paying extra just to get a job and I'm even making money on it.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So I got actually another question came in. Are you a big book reader? What are your top 5 book recommendations or
Top
0?
5 books.
Top 5
So
books.
I am that's a good question, Cameron. I read when I'm in a really good place, like I don't want to say mentally, but like you go through seasons and Joe, I don't know if you're like this, but like my energy's very, it's like seasonal. Like I'll go into 2 or 3 months of like really big hustle and grind and motivation. And sometimes I get out. So in my better seasons of life, I'm reading books. I'll read a book every 2 weeks, something like that, if I'm in a really good place. So like I probably have read 12 to 15 books this year, which isn't crazy, but I think there's some crazy facts that like a lot of Americans have never read a book since high school, which is interesting. But you can get a lot of same things you get out of books, out of YouTube, out of good podcasts, stuff like that, TED Talks. But a few of my favorites from this year, I read a book called Radical Candor. And I can see the book, but I can't read the name, and that's driving me crazy. So it's Candor, like Candor, like small talk. And it's a book on leadership and being direct with your team members. And it really reframed a lot of the way I engage with my team. There was a story from the book in the intro. This girl living in New York, she had just gotten a puppy. It kept running out in the street, and she kept saying, "No, don't do that. No, don't do that." And a stranger came up, grabbed her by the arm, and said, "You really need to restrain your dog." And he sat down and talked to the dog. He said, "No," like really firm, really loud. And he looked the lady dead in the eye, guys. He said, "I'm not being mean. I'm being direct." And a lot of the book was about, just learning to be direct with team members, learning to communicate your expectations, learning to take your niceties out of the way in order to because sometimes it can be more harmful to be nice to somebody you're working with or who's working with you than it is to be direct. I really enjoyed that book. This is crazy. I read Atomic Habits this year. I really liked that. I started E-Myth in December and finished it in January.
I heard that was good.
That was really good. Really like E-Myth. Yeah. I can't remember which one. I think I bought, because I'm like a thrifty guy, dude. Like I'm all about Facebook Marketplace and used bookstores and Goodwill and all that. Really weird thing about me, but I like finding deals. So I got it from a used bookstore, and I think it's like a 20-year-old edition. I don't even think it's the current one, but it was really great. E-Myth was really good. Another one I read, that's 3. I read Extreme Ownership this year. That was really good. And another one that stuck with me. What is the name of that book? I might have to come back to that.
Bro, you did more than enough right there. He asked for 5. He gave 3, 4 of them already.
Yeah.
And then Michael Hunter Topper want to throw in number 1 book, Lord of the Rings.
Dude, Lord of the Rings is great. I read the entire trilogy when I was 9 years old. That was wild. Damn,
you're definitely a book reader. You actually read 12 to 15 more books than I've read this year. So
yeah.
Jane Ramos wanted to say, thanks, guys, for this amazing value. That's all you, Josiah. People are enjoying the value. What do you feel about that?
It's good, man. I mean, it's I think a lot of marketing companies, like we've had this weird thing about scarcity, right? There's scarcity into giving away your tricks. There's scarcity into giving away your value. But, if you look at leaders at any part of this industry, people aren't making money by, hiding. I mean, even Joe, like, great examples, you starting this thing, and now you're working with Jake, and, things just evolve, right? So, like, the more you give out, the more comes back,
That's so true, bro. And we're running out of time. I didn't get to ask you all my questions I want to ask you, but I really like to give value, and I think you like to do the same thing. So as we wrap it up here, any kind of, like, for you, you're the online lead generating expert. So what would you say? What's your tips for someone who's like, I want to get online leads, I want to stop door knocking? What's your tip to these guys trying to get on there?
Dude, it's really interesting, right? There's been I mean, a few things going around is in, like, the best and cheapest way to get them. And honestly, like, organic content has been really key for both me as Prospect Bacon, and back when I was wearing the mantle of Solar Joe,
Solar Joe.
way back in the day. Because what's really interesting, and we were even I was working with our COO last month, and it's like, because we pay to acquire our clients, we run ads, but when we have people that reach out to me personally or from a referral from the client, it does this huge thing to your business, as in, like, hey, you're getting business you didn't pay for. Like, so what that does for your marketing budget, what that does for your margins as a business. So finding ways to siphon leads organically, learning how to work referrals, like really learning how to squeeze everything out of your personal Facebook profile account. Join a yard sale group, like,
Yes.
Message an admin of, like, a yard sale group, said, hey, can I buy this pin spot at the top of your group? You can do it for like $50, $100, and there's like 50,000 people in that group a month. Whenever they go to see a post from that group, they're going to see that pin post at the top, so that's the way to do it. And you can also post your stuff in there as ads. You can get banned from Facebook selling services in Facebook Marketplace. I see that from time to time, but that they'll take the post down. If that happens too many times, you lose your personal Facebook profile, which is just no fun at all. But finding organic ways, as you're scaling, to get those first 3 to 5 deals a month, because if you're, say you're door knocking, but I really love networking. I mean, there's so many ways to get into that, those first few deals a month, and then you can scale, you can hire marketing, you can pour more money into your own marketing. But, and for people actually running ads, content, Joe, we were talking before, content's king, right? So my dog is going to tear my desk apart.
He wants to get in the video.
I know he really wants to be in here. But, test everything, get creative with your images, look for things, engage with the people in the comments on your ads. Don't ignore them, educate them, show them you're a real person. Cause that's who people want to do business with, real people they know, like, and trust. So.
Well, Josiah, I like you and trust you, and you're an inspiration to so many people out there. You gotten to where you are really quick. I'm really excited for you to see what's going to happen to you in the next 5 years. But what do you think? What's next for you, man? What's next for Josiah Atkins?
Oh man, it's really wild. It's really crazy. I was talking to my wife about this recently, and it's really interesting because I don't know if you've seen what I've seen, but, like, everybody's so many acquisitions this year. Like, we've seen marketing companies get acquired. We've seen bigger solar companies get acquired. I'm probably never going to sell Prospect Bacon. I enjoy what I do too much. I might work myself out of a job but still run the business. And, I'm too young and pretty to retire right now. So I got to find something to do, especially pretty. Yeah. So what's next for us? This quarter we're bringing a production crew in-house. We're really focusing on our video content. Next year we'll be looking really hard at how to bring other platforms to our clients at a decent price. And then there's been talks, probably eventually we'll start some sort of coaching or consulting program, but it's not anywhere on my radar as in the near future, because we still have, a lot of work to do before I'm ready to hang my hat up and start doing consulting work. But
well, for now, if anybody wants to reach out to you, work with you, contact you, what's the best way to reach out to you?
You can hit me on my Facebook profile. It's Josiah Atkins. It's the guy that looks like me.
Very similar.
Yeah, very similar. You can also hit us at prospectbacon.com. I think there's a contact form, time to book a call with our team. But I'm most active probably on my Facebook profile. You can enjoy my shenanigans and stories and memes from there.
Speaking of shenanigans and stories, any last thoughts you want to leave everybody with before I let you go, Josiah?
Last thoughts. That's interesting. No, man. It's a really exciting time to be in the solar industry. We're like, we're in the final days of the Wild West being civilized right now. We don't know if it's 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years, but we're in a giant place for people to come in, make an impact in their local community, make an impact selling and building a team virtually. There's so much possibility right now. And I would just encourage everybody to work on your skills right now, because, now's the time to build a company. If you want to build something and get acquired, awesome, do that. If you want to build something and last past the ITC or past all the companies being acquired, do that. But we are like, I think this industry will look a little different 5 years from now. So now's the time to build, reap all the harvest is good, treat homeowners the right way, and do the right things and build a nice business. There's so much opportunity, man. It's nuts.
Love it. I appreciate your time, the advice, the golden nuggets. And everybody watching, we are not done yet. Next week, we have Solarpreneur's own Taylor Armstrong getting on to do the live stream. So really excited about that. Do you know Taylor at all, Josiah?
Taylor and I don't think we've ever met in person, but I really loved all the content because he was, what are they, Society now? And they used to be Solarpreneur. Yeah. And like, yeah, I cut my teeth on those podcasts as a baby, solar rep. So like it was all lots of good content coming from Taylor and everybody over there. So
speaking of good content, Josiah, you're the man. I love your content. Love you being on here, giving us some great content and giving value to the audience. So I better see you in the Solar Objections group now, commenting and being part of us too. Okay, engaging in there.
Sounds good, dude. I'll add it to my favorite list.
Let's go, Josiah. You're the man, bro. I really appreciate you. We definitely got to do it again. We'll talk. All right.
We'll do it. Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Peace.
See you, man.